Should you buy a single family home? Should you buy a townhome or a condo? Do you buy it in a community that has an HOA or a CDD, a new house or a resale? Well, these are some of the top questions that I get all the time. And in this video, I'm going to talk about that. We're going to discuss. So let's begin. Let's go. Hello and welcome to my channel, and if this is your first time, please do me a huge favor, press that thumbs up button. I spend a lot of time, effort, energy bringing you these videos, and I have another channel which is Orlando Home Show, and Orlando Home Show in Espanol, where I bring you model homes all throughout Central Florida, Tampa, Tampa Bay, Orlando, Greater Orlando, and Ocala areas. We go to different builders, and if you are looking for that brand new home, make sure to check our sister channel. And on Orlando Living with D, I basically go around suburban neighborhood in Tampa, Tampa Bay, Ocala, Orlando, and Greater Orlando area, and we talk about different communities. We talk about schools, shopping, dining, so that if you are looking to buy a house, you have some reference, you have some information. And I also have this relocation guide. So if you've been thinking about relocating, make sure to download this guide. It will give you the information, just the basic stuff for you to understand. Now, some of the top questions that I get is from a lot of people, especially when they are buying or when they're looking to buy their house for the first time. They're first-time home buyers, and they're not sure, hey, should I look into buying a single family home? Should I buy a townhome? Should I buy a condo? And in this video, I'm going to kind of demystify some of these questions to give you a clear idea. By the end of this video, my hope is that you get a very good understanding and a clear picture on the path of your homeownership. So let's get into it now. So now that you have decided you're going to get your own place, are you going to buy this, a townhouse, or this, a single family home, or this, a bungalow? Or you know what? Maybe you want to just buy a condo. So what are the difference? Let's talk about it. So first and foremost, I want to congratulate you on making a decision that you are now going to pay your mortgage, not your landlord. Because the way I look at it, no matter what, you're still paying a mortgage. The difference is if it's yours or your landlord. So a single family home, townhome, bungalow, and a condo, what's the difference? This is something that I get asked quite a few times, and here's what I want to explain you. A single family home, which is where I'm shooting this, is basically an independent house. So you have a little bit of a front yard, backyard. You know, if the yard is big enough like it is in this house, you can build a pool. So it's a single family standalone detached house, and that's what that is. So it's a single family home. You are responsible for pretty much everything and anything depending upon the area where you're buying. If it's a newer or a older, there are a few other things which I will discuss later on. A townhome, which is the second best option, which is basically you have a big building that has 4, 5, or 6 homes. Depending upon which builder you go with, some of them have sound barriers in there, but your wall is kind of attached to someone else, and the roof and everything is all under one, and the HOA basically takes care of it. It's a lot more easier to finance a townhome, a single family home, or a bungalow than a condo. Now, what is a bungalow? Bungalow is basically a single family home, but it's more rectangular. Usually the lot is like 40 by 40 or 40 by 35 or something along those lines. And the difference is that in a bungalow, it's a single family detached home, but you don't have a front or a backyard. So if you are a busy professional, you don't have time to mow your lawn and you don't want to deal with any of that, then a bungalow may work. Usually it always has, or most of the time will always have, the 2-car rear entrance garage, whereas in a single family home, you have a front entrance, or even in a townhome, that is a possibility depending upon which builder you're going to go with. Last but not the least is a condo. Now, when I first bought my personal property, I bought a condo. I was young and dumb, you know, or I did not have the money to build a house, because single family home would be the most costly affair, and then condo would be the cheapest. But I also didn't wanted all the responsibilities that comes when you buy a single family home. So on a condo, you're only responsible from everything interior, from everything drywall, everything else is taken care by the condo association. Now, the good part is that you don't have any hands-on that you have to worry about for the outside. So the outside landscaping, if it's in a community that has a pool or has a play area, you don't have to worry about maintaining, yet you have the facility to use. However, the takeoff is that you are going to basically be restricted quite heavily on the HOA, which is a little bit less when it comes to a townhome or a single family home. You have more say on what you want to do in your yard, and you obviously have to go through the HOA association. So the next question that I always get is, should I buy a brand new home or should I buy resales? That's next. So the next question that we always get is, should I buy a resale or should I buy a brand new home? And that answer really depends upon you and on your budget. One of the biggest things that I can tell you right now with the way the market is, the builders are giving the house away. And if you haven't checked my channel, Orlando Home Show, that's where I bring you new communities and model home. Please go ahead and do so. I do them in English, and I have a Spanish agent partner because my Spanish is still poquito. I'm still learning more words. Si, senorita, hasta la vista, and some other words. But hey, let me know which one are your favorite words that I should learn that would help me in real estate to help and give information to my client. But when it comes to that, the decision that you have to make is dependent upon your budget. But I can tell you right now, it's like when you buy a brand new home, right? When you buy a brand new home, it's like buying a brand new car. So you know for the next 5 to 10 years, you don't have to worry about it, that you don't have to spend a little bit of money. And with where the market is right now, you would probably get some amazing deals on inventory homes. And if you haven't watched that channel, please go ahead and do so. And then the resale, the difference with the resale, depending upon how old it is. So if you are looking for an older house that has good bones, because they don't build the way they used to build, so it has some advantage. But the disadvantage is that you would have to spend a lot of money in updating to the new codes, because a lot of things have now changed. So that is something. But the biggest benefit on an older home is that your lot size is going to be a lot more bigger, especially in a community in St. Cloud and Kissimmee. In some parts of Orlando, you may not have an HOA because most of the newer homes will have an HOA and a CDD, which is the next topic of my discussion about the difference between the HOA and CDD and what exactly do they do. I'll be talking about that. But at the end of the day, it depends upon you and your family and your situation. And right now, I'm pushing this a little bit more because I know what happened during COVID, where people were buying houses and spending 40, 50, 60,000 above asking without an inspection or financing contingency, which I would never recommend to my clients. You know, and I'm buying a house is a very emotional thing, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, I want to be that third party to give you the right information to make that decision. So when it comes to doing new or old, it's a matter of personal preference. I personally bought my first condo. It was an old condo, so I know that I needed to do the upkeep and all that in terms of updating it. But I also recently built a brand new home. So it really depends upon you. So now let's talk about the most dreaded things, HOA CDD. So talking about CDD and HOA, what are those and why it is important? So basically on most of the newer communities, there's always going to be an HOA. HOA actually stands for Homeowners Association. It is the bylaws. So if you decide to buy in a community, in a suburban subdivision, especially if it is probably 10, 15, 20 years old, I can tell you 100% that it will have an HOA, and the HOA job is basically to make sure that there is uniformity across the subdivision. So what it means is that if I want to have horses or I decide to have some goats and hens, I can't do that. Or if I decide to paint my house, nice bright pink color or yellow color or blue color, I cannot do that because that will affect the value of all the house. Or if I'm a hoarder, which my wife says I am, I don't think so, because anytime I have stuff, she throws it out because it doesn't have any emotional value. But things that she can't even get into it, it's emotional value. But that's a different topic. That's a different video. I'm sorry, I get sidetracked a little bit because anyways, let me get back to HOA and CDD. So With the HOA, they basically maintain your common area. They'll do the common landscape. If there is a community pool, a kids play area, they will do that. Now the HOA depends and varies depending upon how strict the rules are. Single family homes, you have a little bit more leeway. If it's a townhome or a condo, then it's more stricter. So these are the things that and yes, they do have the power. And at one point they had so much power. And yes, if you don't pay your HOA dues, they can foreclose. Now, if you go into the older house built in like 70s and 60s or 80s, then you may not have an HOA. And in some communities, there is an HOA just for the namesake to take care of the street light. And the HOA is like 10 or 20 bucks a month, which is barely nothing. Now the more the HOA is, the more amenities you will have. So if you have like $200 in a single family, like in this community called Crossberry, which is one of the best areas to look into for new homes. And if you missed the boat on Lake Nona, this is going to be a mini Lake Nona in St. Cloud. That would be a great option. And they actually have an HOA which is higher, but they provide you with the pool, the walking trail, the gym. There's so many amenities that they give you. So it really depends upon your personal choice and what is that you are comfortable with. And then when it comes to CDD, a lot of people think, hey, and a lot of people come, especially on a newer community, CDD is nothing but a community district development tax, which stays on the property for the next 20 to 30 years. And it is like when a builder is building a plot of land or they're building a subdivision, some builders will pay for the impact fee, pay for the infrastructure, the sewer line, the internet, the street light. They will pay for that, and your base prices are going to be higher. And in some communities, the builder will say, you know what, it will be there as a tax that goes to the government. Their base prices will be a lot lower, but then you will pay. So at the end of the day, you as the consumer still pays for that. It's just a matter of you're paying it up front or you're paying it later. So that is something to really keep in mind. So what are the other questions that I get? So some of the questions that I get is, should I buy now or should I wait? Do I need to put 20% down, or what should I do? Like, there's so much misinformation out there that people are confused. And sometimes, having half the knowledge is more dangerous than not knowing at all, or actually not knowing at all is better than having half the knowledge and then based your questions or base your decision on half the knowledge. And here's what I mean by that. The first question that I get with the way the market is and the rates are what the rates are, should I buy now or should I wait it out? Well, here's my theory to it. It really depends. And this is the thing that it depends upon. It depends upon you and your financial situation. So if you have to choose between putting the food on the table and having a place for yourself, and deciding, hey, if I buy the house, I'm house rich, but then I'm poor, I don't have money for anything else, then this may not be the time for you. But if you're like, hey, I'm paying like $2,600 for this house, I could probably get my own place for maybe $28,000 or $3,000, because most of that expense, and I'm not an accountant, so you got to talk to your accountant, is tax deductible, because most of your expense in the beginning when you're paying your mortgage is a mortgage interest expense. So it may be better for you to buy a house. But the most important question that you should ask yourself and have a meeting with the God or meeting with the family is that, can I afford today's prices with today's rate? One thing that I will tell you, in current market, the rates are high as they are, but the builders are giving the red carpet away. Like, they're like, hey, we'll buy your rate down in some cases to 4% and in some cases to 4.5%. And it's not a 2-1 buy down, it's a buy down for the whole 30 years. They're making the house affordable. You get a brand new house at a lower interest rate. And guess what? They will pay all your closing costs. They'll pay your everything that you need to be able to get the mortgage. They will pay that, they'll pay the interest rate down, and in most cases on an inventory home especially, and in this market, they will get you washer, dryer, refrigerator, blind, everything that you need. I recently helped a client who was a VA client. They put $1,000, and guess what? At the end of the day, they got all of that money back. I think they were in the deal for just like $50, and they got the house for $50, and they were renting before a beautiful 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom house for under $500,000 in one of the upcoming communities in suburban areas. So if you've been thinking about that, please ask that question. The other question that I have is, do I need 20%? Well, I just demystified that myth. Why my VA client bought the house with zero down. And by the way, thank you so much for being of service to our great nation. I'm an immigrant to this great nation, so thank you so much. We are doing what we are doing because of your services, so I really want to thank you for that. And if you are a VA and you're looking to buy and you're lost, please give me a call. I will personally be involved rather than somebody from my team to be able to assist you, guide you. And then there are loans as low as 3.5%, which is a FHA loan, or you can also get a 3% conventional loan, or you can get a USDA loan, which is for the outskirts of the area. So it has to be in some sort of an agricultural area where they're doing a lot of development. And this is what Central Florida is. There's a lot of deeper suburban area where you will get more bang for your buck. And in this day and age, most of the people are working from home and doing their thing. That could be a great opportunity. So would you buy a house now or would you wait? Put that in the comment below. So did this video give you clarity on some of the top questions in regards to help you make a well-informed, educated decision? That is my plan, that is my hope, and I hope that I did the right thing. If there are still burning questions, make sure to put that in the comment below. I personally respond to those questions, and if you are looking for that brand new home, make sure to check out Orlando Home Show. And now I'm doing my TikTok dance and everything that I need to get your attention. Make sure to check us out on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube Shorts and everything that I'm doing. So if you are looking to buy, make sure to check out our reviews because it is super important. Whoever you work with, they know what they're doing, and this is all I do. My wife says I'm only good for real estate and Friday night pastas and dishes every day, but hey, it is what it is. Thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, bye for now.